think it's about time we all start to admit that we should be worried about whatever the hell it is James Gunn is attempting to do with this DCU. Honestly. Because, I mean, look, I saw his Superman movie. I was not a fan of it at all. And I'll get to more about that in a little bit. But here's the thing, right? He claimed that the reason Superman went to digital early is because of Peacemaker, right? And then in the very first episode of Peacemaker, they have a full-on orgy. And I don't mean like it's some kind of thing, because look, I haven't seen the damn thing. To be honest with you, I have not seen the first season of Peacemaker. I have no interest in watching the second season of Peacemaker. He's a character that's never really interested me, so I don't really have any interest whatsoever. But you could see what's going on. You could find out very easily. It is that in the very first episode of the season 2 of Peacemaker, you have a full-on orgy. And you're claiming that this is the series that follows up Superman. Why? Why in the name of God would you do that? What is it actually doing for the character, for the universe you're trying to build? I don't know. And apparently neither does James Gunn, because the explanation he tried to give made less sense than anything. I tried listening to it, I was like, I don't even know what the hell you're really talking about here. Because your Superman movie, for all intents and purposes, it wasn't very good at all. Was still a family-friendly movie. But you decided to do this. And the thing about it is that James Gunn did not even want to do Superman initially. Because when it was first announced he was going to be doing Superman, I said before back then, I was not sure James Gunn is the best person to do Superman. That's what I said. But I mean, regardless of that, I don't believe James Gunn said he has no interest in it. Because he initially turned down the film saying, I don't know what to do with Superman. Like, he's more interested in characters that, he gets to break down, blah, blah, kind of thing. Because when he did not get to direct, Suicide Squad, he admitted that, he was jealous of it. He wanted to do that. Those are the kind of characters he likes. Broken characters that he could do things with, all kind of stuff. That's what he enjoys doing. I'm not saying that, James Gunn isn't a good director or he isn't a good filmmaker. I'm not saying it at all. He can do good work. When he has somebody that he has to answer to and get things done, he can do good work. But you basically turn James Gunn into the Kevin Feige of DC. And you've just given him leeway to run with it. I mean, for all the things Kevin Feige has done, the stupid thing that Feige has done, could you imagine him putting an orgy into one of his superhero shows? Like, you could imagine the first episode of Ironheart showing Riri Williams hosting orgies in her dorm room to make money. Like, come on. Yes, she was a thief and a criminal and a murderer. Nobody's not saying no, but, at least she would do some PG stuff there. That's what I'm saying. But that's what you put in there in season 2, the first episode of Peacemaker. You put a full-on orgy. That's what you did. That's what's going on. It's not something anybody's making up. That's what he did. And you think about that, things are bad. When Tom Brevoort, of all people, will come out and say, he can't understand what anybody was thinking with that whole orgy thing. And it makes sense. It really does make sense, because he literally comes out with a complete loss as to why DC Studios co-head James Gunn chose to have this specific scene as the immediate DC follow-up to his more general audience-friendly Superman. Like, why would you do that? Seriously, what was your thing? He goes on to say, I tell you, I had seen a mention of a full frontal orgy being a thing that happened in the opening episode of Peacemaker season 2. But I just thought it was hyperbole. But no, that happened, and it was as shocking and uncomfortable as you might expect. especially in a show that's been advertised as following up directly on the more general audience Superman film. Seriously, I'm not sure what anybody was thinking there. The sequence felt gratuitous to me. Something that got done to push the envelope solely for the sake of envelope pushing. There were certain ways you might have shot such a sequence that wouldn't have been anywhere near as shocking. My kids are all grown now, and still my instinctive reaction to seeing it on screen was to be thankful that I was alone when I was watching the episode. I mean, you have Tom Brevoort coming out and saying he does not, and from what I understand, this wasn't, because I haven't seen the orgy thing, I don't want to see it. Honestly, I don't want to see it. But what I've come to understand, people have reliable sources have told me, this wasn't like some little, flash. I mean, no, this was full on Cinemax, or should I say Skinamax, boldface, pornographic orgy. That's what you were doing. What in the name of God is James Gunn really thinking? Because, I mean, okay, your Superman movie that you claim started the whole DC universe, even though it was originally, Creature Commandos was starting it. Does anybody even talk about Creature Commandos anymore? Does anybody even remember? Because like I said before, I did review the whole thing. I reviewed the first part of that video for it. I reviewed the second part, and then I didn't even bother to put on the video because I was like, nobody cares about this. I don't even care about this. But you've gone in with Superman. And people will say that, okay, well, they like the Superman movie. Not a problem, like the Superman movie, good for you. But you cannot tell me in all reasonableness that you're going to walk away from that Superman movie and not think James Gunn is a little too obsessed with his dog. Because that was the majority of that movie. I mean, yes, Superman got his ass kicked every now and again. Like, not every now and again. He got his ass kicked a lot in that movie. Like, every 10 minutes, somebody was beating the shit out of him. You understand me? Then had that whole whiny scene that he wanted to do that, which wasn't making any kind of sense to me in regards to that. That's not how you do Superman at all. But everything in that movie revolved around the dog in some way. If you haven't seen the movie, you know that scene where Superman is being arrested? Yeah, you know why he got arrested? He turned himself in because of the dog. That was it. That was the main thing that he turned himself in because of the dog. That's what was going on. Because everything was about the dog. The dog, the dog, the dog, the dog, the dog. You literally had the dog dragging him through the snow to get to, like, come on now, man. And you have a DCU that is just setting up. You claim that you have a 10-year plan, right? Now, 10-year plan, in my opinion, would be that you start off with the Trinity. You do a Superman movie, you do a Batman movie, you do a Wonder Woman movie. You set on those three to begin with. Those are your starting point. That's what you need to do. No. You know what we have coming up next? Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, aka drunk off her ass Supergirl. Literally a book from Tom King is nothing more than a ripoff of True Grit. That story does nothing to depict Kara Zor-El in any kind of actual way, shape, or form at all. But you have James Gunn out there saying that, Tom King is the greatest DC writer of all time. I don't know where he got that from, but that's what he's out there doing. Take a look at Tom King's Wonder Woman, or is that still going on? And tell me if you understand a single freaking thing in that. It is absolute nonsense. Tom King loves to just tear down characters. You have James Gunn. I believe James Gunn said that, his favorite Tom King comic is Strange Tales. And I think that's the one with Adam Strange. I don't remember exactly what happened. I think he did something with his daughter in that. I think he sold her off for trade or something like that, and then his wife killed him in the end. Some kind of madness like that, I think, is what happened with it. But your next DC project is Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. Is anybody hyped for that? No. The character was introduced in the Superman movie, and it's a drunk, sailor swearing waste. I've been like, what are you doing? And there's all this talk about all this confusion surrounding the Batman movie and all that because he literally had like he's going to bring out the Batman movie with Batman and Damian Wayne and all that, and you do hear nothing about it. There's talk about how oh he's looking to do a Wonder Woman thing. You're supposed to have a 10-year plan and you have none. You basically have none. Your next movie is Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. You have the Authority coming at some point. We don't know what's going on. Yes, what would I understand? They've already greenlit a next Superman movie, of course, because they're betting on James Gunn at this point. But it's pretty clear, the guy has no idea how to write Superman. He didn't even want to write Superman to begin with. But they gave him the raise and he's just running with it. And like I said, a lot of people like David Corran Sweat, but they don't actually like the Superman movie. That's the God's honest truth. So I'm just saying at this point, I think it's time that we really start to worry about James Gunn's DCU plans. Because to me, it seems like, nothing is really adding up. Because you claim that the Superman movie went to streaming early in order for because Peacemaker is following up. It's pretty clear, the guy likes Peacemaker. He wants to do Peacemaker. Fine. But you start off season 2 of Peacemaker with a full-on orgy. Like, what the hell are you actually doing? You follow up a family-friendly Superman movie to make that. I mean, what next Superman movie are you going to make? Eyes Wide Shut on Krypton? Brokeback Metropolis? What the hell are you going to do next? Come on, man. What is your next Superman movie going to be? Huh? Brainiac comes to Earth, captures Superman, and taps that ass? Like, come on, man. Dude, seriously. I am honestly, people legitimately getting worried about what it is James Gunn has planned for this DC, because I am not seeing any kind of cohesive plan here at all. I mean, okay, Iron Man started the MCU. You could have imagined if they started off with Iron Man and the very next movie that they did was Ms. Marvel. How would that have worked? They understood, listen, we have a plan to do something. We have to do these things. If James Gunn is serious about this, his next movie should have been Batman or Wonder Woman. That should have been his very name. You should have done the Trinity to begin with. And once you've done that, you get a competent actor and script to do a Flash movie, because Flash could still bring in fans and stuff like that. It could still be done. What Ezra Miller did was an absolute abomination. But I'm just saying, it could still be done. You have the entire Justice League. You could do that. Hell, you could put out a literal Martian Manhunter TV series, and do that little, like, John Jones came to Earth, got there, he's a detective. That's what's going on. You could do that. You could do it. Instead, you want to do some Amazon Island series that nobody cares about. And you have Tom King writing a Lantern series coming up from a guy who has no idea what the hell he's doing. Because, you see, think about it. When Tom King did his whole Heroes in Crisis, I still consider one of the worst things ever done to these heroes. You literally had Green Lantern sitting down there saying, listen, to be honest with you, I have no idea what the hell willpower is. None. It's the very thing that I use. It's the very thing that my ring works on. It's the very thing that makes me the greatest Green Lantern ever, but I have no idea how that works. That's like Superman going out. That's Superman, like Spider-Man going out there and saying, listen, that whole with great power comes great responsibility. I don't know what the ass that means, I just say it because Uncle Ben said it. When I let go some criminals, let's go back later, and I just kill them. That is what I just do, because I really don't know what's going on. That is what that is to me. But no, you claiming this guy is the greatest writer ever. And that Lantern series shaping up to be crap already. Honestly, people, I'm telling you, I'm legitimately worried about what James Gunn has planned for this DC. I don't think that there is any kind of 10-year plan. I think he's going to make it up as it goes along. Let's reach to some kind of conclusion, and then that's going to be it. That's going to be it. Because I don't care for this whole Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow nonsense where Tom King is basically ripped off through grit ability. No, I don't. And the fact that you started off Peacemaker with an orgy is telling me a lot of things I don't want to hear in regards. I mean, like, Jesus Christ, he had Tom King had Green Lantern put a ring, put the ring to that and blow his head clean off. What the hell is that? This is just shocking me in regards to I mean, because if James Gunn is saying, Tom King is who he's bringing in to do everything, the consult stuff, it ain't gonna work out there too. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you are as legitimately worried as I am about whatever the hell it is James Gunn has planned for his DCU. Because I'm just saying, after Creature Commandos that nobody cares about, Superman that flopped so hard you ran to put it on digital early, and then you claim it was because Peacemaker was coming out, and the very first episode of Peacemaker had a full-on orgy. That tells me, yeah, that ain't something people want to be putting all eggs in a basket for. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. If you have a different opinion, I'd love to hear it. If you like the video, hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell to be notified every time I upload a new video. And I shall see you all next time. Take care.